The British Film Institute conducts a worldwide survey of critics every 10 years and asks them to rank the top 100 motion pictures ever created. There are some sensible inclusions in the results of their most recent vote, but there are also some rather surprising ones, according to the BFI magazine Sight and Sound, which was just released. In this video, we are going to talk about top 10 best movies ever made. So before starting, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. So let's start. Number 10. Singin' in the Rain. This Gene Kelly and Debbie Reynolds musical comedy, which is about performing musicals, is a ton of fun. One of those films that, even now, decades later, when first watched, still leaves the audience in awe, particularly of the Gene Kelly song that gives the film its name. After falling to 20th place in 2012, the Stanley Donen movie, which he also co-choreographed, is now back in the top 10 of the BFI. As its roots can be found in movies like Moulin Rouge and La La Land, Singin' in the Rain also provides an explanation for many of the spectacular musicals that followed. According to Patricia Ward, Kelly's widow and biographer, her husband would find today's musicals a touch retrograde, honestly. He could believe that we are moving backwards slightly if he observed the dance, which frequently resembles that of the 1930s and 1940s. There is a line of people waiting, and rather than the camera moving, they look more like Pepsi advertisements and other similar things. Number 9. Man with a Movie Camera. This documentary by Russian filmmaker Giga Vertov is proof positive that the cinema medium can be beautiful even when not overly artificial. Vertov simply uses camera shots, camera movement, editing, and score to produce an amazing movie that depicts life in a Soviet city. In this movie, number 8, Mulholland Drive, one of the best fantasy movies ever made, Mulholland Drive by David Lynch is a riddle inside a riddle. As its detached universe becomes much more real for individuals who are constantly in a haze due to social media and the news, it attracts more viewers every year because to its sense of atmosphere and dream logic. Mulholland Drive may be the most Lynchian of all the movies because it was written by the author of this one. Over the years, Lynchian has come to describe movies with a bit of dream logic and without a clear ending. Naomi Watts and Laura Herring deliver outstanding performances that help us identify with them even in this peculiar, unusual fantasy because they are just as bewildered as we are in this film, which requires multiple viewings to properly comprehend. Number 7. Beau Travail. Denis Lavant's character, Galou, recalls his time as a former Foreign Legion colonel commanding troops in Djibouti and his envy of Centane, a fresh recruit, Grégoire Collin. Over the years, many outstanding actors have collaborated with filmmaker Claire Denis. One of the reasons why is this movie. Beau Travail is a prime example of her ability to create poetry with images. She is one of the few directors who is capable of doing so. Denis is a master at fusing disparate genres and tones, as seen in this movie's concluding sequence. Number 6. 2001. A Space Odyssey. The film 2001, A Space Odyssey, like its story, ventured into uncharted territory. A movie as beautiful, philosophical, terrifying, mystical, and technologically advanced as anyone could have imagined was made by Kubrick. Without a doubt, this is Stanley Kubrick's finest work. One with one of the best wicked robots we've ever seen. One where all of his compulsive perfectionism and brilliant intellect combine in the best way to create visuals that are still inspirational today. Battlestar Galactica and her wouldn't exist without HAL. This movie is unique. It's one of those that has a before and after effect because everyone who saw it in the theater understood that movies were capable of so much more. Number 5. In the Mood for Love. Tony Leung and Maggie Cheung's characters, Chow Mo Wan and Su Li Jen, are two neighbors who believe their respective couples are having extramarital affairs in the movie In the Mood for Love. They begin to fall in love with one another throughout their discussions but are careful not to cross any boundaries. The movie by Wong Kar-wai is a gorgeous, brooding, melancholy, and distinctive example of what real romance may be in a motion picture. It may not have the typical Hollywood happy ending, but it examines passion and longing unlike any other film. In 2002, this movie rose from 24th to 5th in the BFI rankings, demonstrating that it may have had a greater impact than it appeared to have at the time. Number 4. Tokyo Story. The masterwork by Yasuhiro Ozu appears to be a straightforward tale of an elderly couple who realize their family no longer needs them, but it is much more than that. The most terrible of all stories is that time does not stop for anyone. This is a story about life and how it never stops. This is a movie about the passage of time. Number 3. Citizen Kane. Orson Welles' best film. Citizen Kane explored story, structure, and filmmaking in telling Charles Foster Kane's story. The story is that this picture was about Charles Randolph Hearst, who tried to discredit it, yet everyone recalls Rosebud and Welles' inventive camera methods. It's even more impressive considering Welles directed his debut film at 26. Citizen Kane topped the BFI list from 1962 to 2002, indicating that Welles' ideas made one of the best pictures ever, even with new styles and techniques. Number 2. Vertigo. This film is Hitchcock's best. Vertigo follows Detective John, Scotty, Ferguson, James Stewart, as he stalks Madeline Esther, Kim Novak, on his last mission. Madeline resembles Scotty's history, complicating everything. Vertigo is explored in this Hitchcock film. Nothing is as it seems in this picture, and everything, director, music, editing, art direction, actors, works together to produce the ideal and exhilarating combination. Number 1. Jean Dielman, 23 Quai du Commerce, 1080 Bruxelles. In the latest BFI survey, the film at number 1 was at number 35. The first female-directed film to reach the top 10 and the top place. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.